All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know, man, we here to talk some truths. And when I say truth, I mean the inner truth. And by inner truth, I mean the mindset, and self-sabotage. Why are we talking about this? Hey, y'all just gonna have to stay tuned and find out. But my guest joining me all the way from the East Coast. Look here, y'all better give it up. Bowie, Maryland in the house. All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Miss LaJune Singleton.
Thank you for having me, Ty.
You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. Man, once again, welcome to the platform. And as you can see that lovely sign behind you there, man, look, Miss Singleton is a health and nutritional coach, board certified. Let me put that in front. Board certified health and wellness and nutritional coach. Okay, look here, we about giving people they true props. Okay, all right. But not only that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, not only that. All right. Mindset coach. All right, because we all about that great mental health around here. This is what we dedicated our platform to. And author. Now, one of the things you heard me mention earlier was self-sabotage. Yes, I did mention it. But she just released a book called Releasing My Trauma, The Root of Self-Sabotage. So we're about to get started. We're about to go in. And my first question to you, LaJune, is talk to us about this book.
So the book is a self-help memoir. It's about my life. It's about the things that I went through personally that was causing self-sabotage, from losing my dad at the age of 6, being molested, not being heard by my mom when I told her that my cousin was bothering me, because, at 6 or 7, you really can't articulate molestation because you don't know what it is. The trials and tribulations of how that spilled over in personal, relationships, jobs, things like that. It all played a part of my past, my childhood, those things, what that looked like. So I started looking at that. I went to Bali in 2019, and just, that was the release of everything for me. I went to a retreat. It was the release of everything, because I wanted to truly put that behind me and move forward and be successful in future relationships, in business, and just overall life, being at peace and in love with myself. So that was the reason why I wrote the book, was literally to release my past, release my trauma, and to forgive.
Okay. Now, look, first and foremost, you hit on some key factors there, and you talked about trauma. And, when we talk about self-sabotage, don't get me wrong. Sometimes we all have doubts about, things from time to time. But for some of us, that self-doubt is rooted in other things. It's not our own, hey, I know that Mercedes over there costs $150,000, I wonder if I can get that. Well, if I'm not making $150K, I might not be able to afford that Mercedes. So, that's a little bit different. But we're talking about, on a day-to-day. And as you said, to further relationships, further business, things of that nature, when it comes to that, and how a traumatic experience such as you going through, molestation, how that triggered, everything going, forward. And as you said, being heard, now there are 3 things I know that a lot of us, especially as African Americans, want in this life, and that's to be seen, to be heard, to be valued. Okay. And when you're not getting that, especially at a young age, you're talking about 6 or 7, and you're coming to a person that you trust, hey, this is what's going on. And for them not hearing you, then, that sort of puts things into motion, going forward into your teen years into your early adult years, please, that spurs on and on and on. So let me just ask, in your opinion, where does self-sabotage originate? Does it originate from the outside or does it originate from the inside?
So for me, I would say self-sabotage rooted in the home. In our community, when we lose a loved one, we don't get therapy. We don't get counseling. We don't do a support group or anything like that. It's like, okay, somebody died, you move on with your life. That's not, how it should be. It should be it was no communication. It was no, how are you? How are you feeling? You lost your dad. You was a daddy's girl. There was no communication on that. Being, molested, it was my first cousin. So that was family. So it wasn't like it was, some random neighbor or something like that. It was family. So I think trauma starts within the home. It's either your dad, your grandparents, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin.
So as we were talking before we even got started, as I said, some of the first adversity you will ever get in life it usually doesn't come from the outside. It usually comes from the inside. And, people, as we just sat up here and told you, make therapy a priority. We need that, especially, we're talking pandemic, we're talking about things going on globally or whatever that really affects us, people losing their jobs, homes, loved ones. We need someone to talk to who is a professional. Even if you can't afford a therapist, get these feelings out, get you a support group. Sometimes that works almost as good as seeing a therapist if you have the right people.
And there's actually free resources and services out there. You just have to do the research to find it. So you have to take the time. You cannot be embarrassed of therapy. We all need therapy. We all been through something in our lives. So don't be embarrassed about it. Don't think, if I get therapy, people gonna think I'm crazy. Stop thinking about what other people think about you. Think about what you think about yourself. It starts with you.
So now it's funny that you say that. And we're talking about self-sabotage because to me personally, that's usually what it comes down to. What are other people going to think? If I do this, if I say this, how are people going to react? We're always caught up with what others think instead of the mission at hand. Why do you think that is?
Because society has put into us how we're supposed to look. If you are not a certain size, society says, you're fat, you're too big. Our hair is supposed to be straight. For years, we were told your hair was supposed to be straight. For men, you're supposed to be clean cut, shave, all this stuff. Society put that on us. So it's embedded in our heads. It's moved from, your parents were taught this, your grandparents were taught this. No, you got to look a certain way. No, you can't do that. So it just goes on and on and on and on. And it's like, wow.
That's funny because it's, I usually talk about what do you really want when it comes to life? Not what family has told you, not what society has told you, but what do you really want when it comes to living? And, the same thing, I mentor youth and, young adults as well. And a lot of times when I talk to high school seniors who are transitioning from high school, usually, is, we're going to go to college and we're going to do this. Well, everybody's not cut out to go to school and, make it the way that we are traditionally supposed to make it. Who's telling you this? Well, my mom or my dad or family at home are telling me, this is the way to go. But everybody has a different path. And sometimes you have to be courageous enough to form your own path. And, we talk a lot about staying in your lane. We hear that all the time. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. This don't concern you. Stay in your lane. But sometimes we need to get out of that, no, don't stay in your lane, because, man, this goes into my next question when we talk about comfort. We have a saying around here, comfort is a cage, okay? Comfort is a cage. And let me just ask, how can comfort be a form of self-sabotage?
So comfort is basically that complacency mindset. So basically, we're afraid to go out and venture into something new because it's unknown territory and waters. It's that fear. You don't know what it looks like. You already know what this looks like right here because you've been working this 9 to 5 for how many ever years. You in a relationship, you really ain't happy, but you just like, I don't want to be alone and I don't want to find anybody else. So I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna continue to stay in this neighborhood, even though it's bad, but I know the waters of this neighborhood because I don't know if I move, then people will think something different about me. They'll think, oh, I'm being bougie. They'll think that, I'm acting brand new, whatever words you want to use. But the thing of it is, you got to step out of that comfort zone to get to that next level. If you're not happy at this job, but, I got a steady paycheck, but you're not happy, you getting sick every week or every month, because that was me. It was like, I was working jobs. It felt like I was working to pay bills. I wasn't happy. I was sick every week because I was so stressed out. And it was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So you gotta, even though you don't know what this looks like, write down what you want. Speak what you want. Because trust me, I am a living testimony of I was that person.
Okay, look, let me just say, once again, people, when they telling you to stay in your lane, nah, I'm jumping lane, okay? I'm jumping lanes till I feel, I get to the lane that best suits me, that I'm best comfortable in. Not in a bad way, but look, this is helping me grow. This isn't keeping me stagnant.
So ask people, instead of being jealous of people or feeling like you got to compete with people, ask questions. How did you get to this point? How did you start making money at this point? I think of Pursuit of Happiness when Will Smith's character asks the guys like, what do you do to afford this car? You gotta ask questions. Don't be afraid. I have mentors and I have people I ask questions to all the time because it's a lot of stuff I do not know when it comes to having a business. Technology is changing every day. So ask questions. Don't feel like, oh, I gotta compete with them. The only person you need to be competing with is yourself and becoming better every day. Don't worry about anybody else. If you don't know and you wondering how Cindy and John got to that position, ask them.
Look, seriously, spot on. And as the song goes, quit player hating from the sideline. Okay, all right. I ain't gonna say the rest of the verse, but quit player hating from the sideline. All right. That's Little Kim, all about the Benjamins.
Yes, I know.
All right. You know. I mean, LaJune, sometimes we have people who are not of the experience. And, we gotta All right. So real quick, let's talk about, your services and what it is that you do. I see the wonderful, beautiful, signage behind you there, the personal trainer and everything. So let's talk a little bit about you and your services and everything that you offer.
So I am a board certified health coach. I'm also a certified health and wellness coach, certified nutritional lifestyle coach, personal trainer, mindset strategist, speaker, podcaster, author. Also offer coaching to girls in the area of softball and track and field. I first started personal training in 2010, 2011. I got a knee injury. And I gained a lot of weight. I was 120 at the time. And the weight just kept going up, 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 up. And I got to 193 was my highest. So this picture right here is when I was at that size. And I was working out. That's the sabotaging part. I was working out, but I hadn't dealt with my past. I hadn't dealt with what was going on. You know, the grief of my dad, the abandonment. I was in a relationship. In all relationships, I would always put them in the friend zone because it was safer. I could control friends. I can't control the relationship. So it's like, if you break up with me, we still friends. That's fine. So it was the mindset of, I already got you in the friend zone right in here. So if it don't work, we friends. Cool. So as I said, I went to Bali in 2019, and the week before I went, I passed my certification as a health and wellness coach. But I really wasn't in the health and wellness mentally and physically yet. So Bali changed my life. I came back, I did a food sensitivity test. Everything that was on it, I cut it out, from chicken, pineapple. Yeah, I gave up chicken. Pineapple, cheese. Yeah, I gave up all the stuff, mushrooms, like stuff that we love to eat. And I gave it up 2 weeks. All it was inflammation in my body. Dropped it in 2 weeks and literally had to go buy clothes because my clothes ain't fit no more. So I started to understand, because I worked at the health department in STDs and HIV and AIDS. So most of my clients that I had were women. And I was like, okay, I need this. I've also been a caseworker in mental health. So I was like, okay, I've worked with people from different areas, and I've always provided valuable information to them. Even if it was somebody that tested positive for HIV and they're like, I'm fine. No, you need counseling. You're not fine. This is right now. But when you really think about how that person portrayed you, it's gonna hurt. So get a support group, go to therapy. I'll set it up for you. And I would always send them stuff. You may not be ready now, but you're going to need this. So that's how I got into it. I got recertified in personal training. And most people were like, when are you gonna start personal training again? When are you gonna start personal training? And the nutritional aspect, mindset, nutrition, it's 80%. The fitness is only like 20%. If your mind isn't right and you're not eating the right stuff, you're not gonna lose weight. The fitness part is just like, okay, you toning up, you building muscle. But the mindset, that is powerful. If you have not let go of your past, or if you with somebody you're not happy with, you having money situations, all that ties in together, because my money was not good. And I did not have a good relationship with money. I felt like money was gonna abandon me, because as soon as I got it, I'm paying bills. As soon as I got it, I gotta put gas in my car. As soon as I got it, I gotta get groceries. So I had to build a relationship with money. And it's, I never thought that the things that you own, it was a relationship. Like, we got a relationship with our car. We got a relationship with our phone, with our laptops or tablets or whatever. You got a relationship with it. So I had to understand that and was like, okay, so let me improve my relationship with money and stop crying and woe is me and checking my bank account every 2 seconds, and being okay with, okay, money's gonna come in. I know what I'm doing. I'm trusting God, and the abundance is flowing. So I got to trust the process. I can't doubt it. I got to speak positivity on it. I can't be saying I'm broke or I ain't got it. I got to speak positivity over it. So that's kind of how I got into it. Like I said, I had to start with me because I feel that you can't really be beneficial to somebody else until you're beneficial to yourself.
Look, man. Snaps. All right. No, seriously, like, and we're going to talk a little bit about, you know, the correlation between food and success and, you know, mindset in a second. But you just dropped some gems, okay? Now, I ain't going to talk about the chicken and the pineapple.
Yeah, pineapples. I was eating pineapples like crazy when my knee injury, because pineapples is a good anti-inflammatory. Yeah, pineapples came up. Mushrooms are still on it. I just got my results back like almost 3 weeks ago. Mushrooms are still on it. I'm just like,
you have nothing, man.
I can't have nothing. I'm literally in the grocery store reading all the ingredients. Oh, I can't have this. It got vinegar in it. Oh, yeah. So.
Okay, all right. Now look, I mean, hey, look, I'm not gonna lie, man. Look, I love me some chicken. I ain't even trying to be stereotypical, all right? But I'm just gonna keep it real. Look, fried, baked, whatever. Man,
I like to like that too.
Hey,
yeah,
look.
eggs. I was eating boiled eggs every morning for breakfast. It was on the list. I was like,
wow, what?
I just gotta sacrifice to have the body you want. So yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, and seriously, that's what it's about. It's really about sacrificing to have the body you want. And another thing, pretty much what you said was key was the relationship with money. Money, seriously, money has torn up marriages. Relationships.
Oh, it messed up. Yeah, my relationship. That was
and everything. Man, money.
Yeah.
When it boils down to it, it ain't about all this other. Man, now don't get me wrong. Yes, it is. At the end of the day, you know, other stuff that you may do, yes, does attribute to the relationship as well. But money, you know, how am I going to be financially stable? You know, and real quick, just as a side note, I was watching something today with Tamron Hall, and I don't even want to put her out there like that, but she had Jasmine Guy on the show, and Jasmine Guy was talking about her issues with money and how that led down a depressive road or what have you. And, you know, just the story she told was similar to what you were talking about. And it wasn't until, you know, this new show that, you know, she started, Harlem, I believe it is, you know, that just came out, how that turned everything around for her, you know, with her, you know, herself and her relationship with her daughter or what have you. But we ain't here to plug all that.
Money, well, like, I was suicidal because I didn't have money, and I was just like, okay, well, I might as well just end it all, because I don't have money. I don't know how to get money. I'm just frustrated of the process. And with my, you know, relationship, it was my first time actually living with someone. So I didn't know what, you know, financial played a huge part. And it was times I wasn't working because I was doing an internship for my MPH. And I'm doing Uber, Lyft, and I'm not paying my own personal bills because I'm trying to maintain a household. And it did cause a rift in the relationship.
Yeah, look here. Money is serious. And as you said, you have to develop a relationship with money. And once you develop that relationship with money, not, you know, hey, I'm going to keep it and it's all mine, but, but a healthy mental relationship with money and how to spend smart, how to, you know, do things, you know, that will net positive results instead of like trying to just spending it to basically survive.
Right.
You know, because hey, seriously, you can't take it with you. Once you're gone, you're gone. All right. And if you don't put your finances in order, oh, the state government, oh yeah, they come to get that, and they already got enough money. They don't need mine. So there it is. Okay. But I want to talk a little bit, you know, I was reading through your bio. I came across some lessons. Now, there were like plenty of them, all right? but two stuck out to me. So the first one we're going to talk about is a very valuable lesson that you put out there was, don't manifest what you want. Manifest who you are. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
So I believe that when you say, okay, say for instance, an athlete, okay, I want to be a basketball player. Okay, you got to work to become that basketball player. It's not just going to happen overnight. Prime example, Michael Jordan tried out for his team when he was younger. He didn't make the team. He practiced, and he said to himself, this is what I want. When you truly believe that you want something, as in a career, whatever, a business, whatever it is, you truly believe it, it starts with you. It starts with the mindset. It starts with having it here and visualizing what that looks like for you. Then you're able to get it. Because I remember the first day in Bali, the host was Shanoa Maxwell. And she asked me, when are you going to quit your job? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, as I said, I ain't have a good relationship with money. I don't know. Maybe. No, she's like, no, I need an exact date when you're quitting your job. Because basically, that tells me you're serious. It's like, man, I don't. And it hit me, and I was just like, I don't know. Literally, the next year, I got COVID, 2020. And I quit my job in May, officially quit. And I started my own podcast and I had my own business. And I was like, damn, just had this conversation October of 2019, May. I guess that's the official date. So we had a group meeting, me and the ladies still talk. And I told her, I said, I think I texted her first and I told her, I said, I officially quit my job. And she was like, okay. Now you're starting to manifest what you want because you already know who you are. You already had the tools of being a health coach. You already had the tools of being a mindset strategist because you've had years of working with clients already, from case management, from disease control specialists, from working in a group home with girls. You already had it. You just didn't know you had it. So I started seeing it and I was like, oh, I was already manifesting it, but I just wasn't doing it the way I wanted to do it for me. I always knew. I'm still friends with some supervisors and they like, yeah, you don't need to work for nobody. You need to work for yourself because you do not like to listen to people when it comes to them telling you what to do. But that's how I started to manifest. And it started to come out because I had to manifest who I was because I was all over the place.
Okay. Seriously, that's a very powerful testimony and it speaks volumes to a lot of us, myself included. There are things that I want, and in your mind, sometimes you feel, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the self-sabotage, like, what are they doing that I can't do, because I can do what they're doing, and that's what I want to do, but at the end of the day, am I manifesting it? Am I putting things into play? Am I comfortable staying in my lane, or do I want to get out of my lane and get into some other people's lanes and get into other lanes and figure out, okay, hey, this looks good over here. This looks good over there. This looks good over there. Man, you know what? I can do that, and that, and that. I can do all of this. I just have to let go. And as we said before, that self-doubt, that self-sabotage, taking that next step when we don't know what that next step looks like, that faith, trust, people. Okay, all right.
The crazy part is, Ty, in 2010 and 2011, I had my own business as a personal trainer, and I worked part-time for this place that works with individuals with intellectual and physical disabilities. Business was great. Like, I had clients, but when I injured my knee, it did something to me where it was fear. So when it came to me, you know, working on my own business, because I would have clients that was like, oh, when you gonna train or whatever? And I'm like, no, I'm not training anymore. So that fear creeped in because I'm like, well, what if I hurt myself again? Because now I'm working for myself. If I work for a company, I got insurance. If I get hurt on the job, I can get workers' comp. You can't do that when you got your own business. So I had to get out of my way, and I'm like, yo, you were successful before, because literally I think of it as we have to have that mindset of being a child. Because when we were kids, we were fearless. You would jump off of stuff, you would do whatever, you hurt your knee, you get up, you kept going. Yeah. So I believe that, you know, right at this point, I had to adapt that, okay, I'm a kid again. And I'm fearless. I can do whatever I want.
You know what? You just took me back to when I was a kid. We was, oh my God, look, Lord have mercy. We was, you know, like, you don't really think about it at the time because you're like, as you said, fearless. Oh, great. But you sit back and think about certain things like, boy, what was going through your mind at that time?
Yes.
Why would you even do
what
that?
was I thinking? Yeah.
Oh, like who jumps off garages, people? Who jumps off garages?
Yeah.
I do. I did. Oh, man, please.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be a stunt man growing up. Oh, my God. Oh.
Jumping over ditches. You know, I'm from Louisiana originally. So I would jump over ditches, you know, catwalking, yeah, on my bike. Like, yes. So it's just kind of like, you know, how did we get to the point of we're scared of everything? You know, people will say, oh, I don't want to fly the plane crash. I've been in 3 accidents and it's about to be in May. Will be 3 years because I was in an accident 2019, 2020, and last year. And I still drive. Yeah, I get scared and cars get too close. I'm like, oh shoot, you too close to me. But I still do it because I know I still have places to go. So we have to get out of the mindset of, oh, well, I'm never gonna drive again because I was in an accident. That could have been my mindset. But no, I like to go when I want to go.
I hear that. Hey, look here. Hey, you better speak that truth now. Speak it. Now, the second lesson I found fascinating that I seen on the list was embarking on a successful journey by living in the present. Not in the past or the future. Now, I know we talked a little bit about that, you know, a couple of minutes ago, but let's expound on that a little bit more, please.
So, as we all know, it's Instance, the song, the gospel song, Tomorrow by the Winans. Yeah. So we are infamous of saying, especially around Christmas time, oh yeah, I'm gonna lose weight in January. What? Why can't you do it today? Why can't you start working out today? It's December the 1st. You're gonna wait a whole month before you start working out. And you ain't gonna do it on January 1st. You may do it the 2nd, but realistically. We always say tomorrow or next year or in a month. Why not do it now? Is the outcome gonna look differently? What do you have to do for it to be a month later, a day later, a week later, a year later? What do you have to do? So that's why I'm like, you have to live in the present because you're in the now. And we don't live in that because we're so ready to jump into the future. Then we'll go back to the past and then stuff will start coming up and we're like, dang, yeah, I remember my mom and we got an attitude and we mad. And it's like, why are you mad? Let it go. Because trust me, I'm pretty sure my mom don't remember half the stuff. And it's okay, because the thing of it is, I don't know what her experience was growing up. And I have to look at that and I have to consider, I don't know what her upbringing was. She did the best she could. I love her. I will always love her. And I forgive her. You know, my cousin, I don't know if he was molested or what the situation was with him. I wish him the best. I pray that he gets the help that he needs. But I'm not holding on to that and, you know, letting that shorten my life because I'm holding on to past stuff. And it does shorten your life. There's a lot of people leaving here because they holding on to something that happened when they were 10 or whatever age.
Look, you, woo. I don't want to, look, I ain't going to say no names, okay? I promise I wasn't going to say no names, but as you just said, there's a lot of people leaving up out of here over things that affected them in the past that they have never come to grips with. And that stress, while it may not manifest itself outwardly, like in the moment, it's still there. And it's still festering. It's still spreading throughout the body. And certain triggers, whether it be something we consider mild or something we consider very heavy, boom, you know, they all come to the forefront. And it will show and rear its ugly head at any given time. And if we mentally, you know, if we don't deal with it mentally, you know, that sets everything in motion going forward. And as I said, it can just go off at any given time, depending on the trigger.
Oh yeah. And that was me. I used to be so angry. I remember I was sexually assaulted in 2007 and my molestation was coming up. And I was so upset. I punched a hole in the wall because I was so angry. And I would get upset like this. It would go from 0 to 100. It was no in between. And it was scary. It scared me. Because one thing I say, this is what I'm scared of: God, the RS, the Popo, and myself. Because you can destroy yourself like that. And you have to realize that you can sabotage everything in a given moment with your thoughts, with your beliefs.
Look, oh God, like, you're just taking me back to a place. And, you know, when we talk about self-sabotage, and, you know, you mentioned it earlier, you know, even in relationships, just trying to find love. Like, you know, you mentioned putting people in the friend zone. Hey, you know what? You nice and fine and all, but yeah, come on over here to this friend zone. Yeah, it's not, man, I got it all set up for you because you ain't going past, I mean, I don't care how great it get.
Yes.
It ain't going past this point.
Yes.
You know, there is no road that leads past this point. So, welcome to the friend zone. If it don't work out, cool. Man.
And I actually said that. Yes, I said that to my last ex. If you're not happy in this relationship, we can be friends. And we are the greatest friends. Love my ex dearly, but we are the greatest friends. But I'm just like, I wasn't there. You know, you want relationship. I would say, oh, I want to make you happy. I wasn't even happy. I didn't even love myself. So I'm like, how can I make you happy? And I'm trying to pour all this love in you, but I really started to see it in 2019 because I was unhappy the 2 years in the relationship. At the end of the 2 years, I wasn't happy at all. I was gaining weight. I was miserable. And I literally was like, I said at my birthday dinner on 2019, I was like, I wasn't happy. I'm in a better place. I feel good about myself. I love myself. I'm happy with me. I'm at peace. And I'm okay. So it's, and I even had an ex before that ex, because I would jump out relationships and get into another one like a month or two later. And the ex before that was like, you treat me like you treat your friends. You're absolutely right. I do. It's like there's no distinction. You treat us all the same. You're right. Because you in that friend zone, boo. I love you. But no, if you up and leave, it won't hurt us bad because we're friends.
Gotcha. Hey, look, I ain't gonna call some of y'all out, but y'all know who y'all are. You know, if that story sounds very familiar, you know who you are, okay? I ain't gonna call you out. I ain't gonna do that. I'll do that after the show. I ain't gonna do that after the show. But that's okay. All right. No, but moving on, I want to talk a little bit about, you know, the correlation between food and success. You know, how can our food choices set us up for triumph or failures?
So I will start with the failure. Unfortunately, our society is not nice, where if you're at a certain weight, they will not hire you because you are a health risk to that company. So that is one example of nutritional failure. Like I said, it's unfortunate, but it is our society, because I've heard stories from many people where they're like, they've applied for a job, or somebody they knew applied for a job and that person was a certain weight, over 300 pounds, and they didn't get the job. Because you're a health risk. If you fall down, now they're liable. Now they got to pay you workers' comp. So success, you're energized when you eat healthy. You know, you sleep better. You are able to go to the bathroom, because a lot of us suffer from constipation because we're not eating the right foods, and it's impacted inside of us. So eating the right things, drinking the right amount of water based on your weight. If you're over 120 pounds, you should be intaking water based on half your water weight, half your body weight. You just feel so much better. I've cut out gluten in my diet, and I do gluten-free. And it's a difference because you feel heavier when you eat fried foods, when you eat bread and dairy and all that stuff. When you cut it out, you feel less heavy, you feel energized, you're able to stay awake, you're not taking a nap and nodding off every 2 seconds. So that's how it looks. You're able to think clear, you're able to focus. It's not that brain fog, because I have clients that's like, oh, I always have brain fog. What are you eating? Because it does contribute to that. So those are the successors of it, of eating healthy. You just notice a world of difference when you do it. Because literally when I cut the stuff out, when I got my results back, I was energized. I was ready to go.
Okay, all right. So now, the flip side of that, okay, and I know we discussed this beforehand, before we got started, but food deserts. You were mentioning, man, in your area, there's a few food deserts, especially, you know, in DC, what have you. I know here in Chicago, especially on the south side of Chicago, in a lot of the areas on the south side of Chicago, there are food deserts. Some are more extreme than others, you know. I know going out to Gary, Indiana, for sure, food desert, you know. But how can people in those areas triumph mentally, even though they're in a food desert? Like, what are some tips, you know, for them to triumph mentally, you know, in those food desert areas?
Well, I would say now we have better options because, you know, years ago we didn't have Instacart or different companies that can deliver groceries to you. So utilize those services. Don't look at it as, oh, it's a lot of money. The carry out is around the corner. I can just get some chicken and fries. Them chicken and fries ain't healthy for you. It's going to cause high cholesterol, heart disease. We can add in the diabetes because you're going to get that soda, and that regular size soda is like this. So let's just, that half and half, because I know people know about that half and half. So let's not even play that. So the real life outlook of it is we're always looking at, unfortunately, the cost. We're looking at, well, it'll be cheaper for me to just go to the carry out. Oh, I'm going to grab a slice of pizza. Health risk. That's the other nutritional health risk. Our community, the Black and brown community, we are the highest at risk for heart disease, for diabetes, cancer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And fried foods and grilled foods are linked to cancer. So I would say utilize those resources of Instacart or whatever you have. We have a grocery store here, Giant and Safeway. Even at Walmart, if you have a car, you can go and do like the pickup from there. Because of COVID, a lot of stores are doing that now. Target, you can just drive up and do that. And maybe some of them will actually deliver to you. I'm not really sure, depending on your area, but I would utilize that. Instead of canned foods, get frozen fruits and vegetables, because it's not healthy for you. Even though it says low sodium, it's still packed with sodium because they have to keep the shelf life of it. If you do buy it, rinse it off. Even if it's low sodium, rinse it off. So those are the things to consider. It lasts long. If you get bananas and they start to go bad and you're using them for smoothies, cut them up and freeze them. That's what I do. So those, same with spinach. I freeze my spinach, I wash it off and I freeze and I use it for smoothies. But you can also use the cook with, because it's the same thing if you buy the frozen spinach. So, just be smart with your money and be smart with the foods that you're buying. Look at how much sodium, look at how much sugar is in it. I tell my clients all the time, look at the label. How much sodium does it have in it? And if you're getting frozen foods, because I stopped eating processed foods because it's so high in sodium. It's maybe from 400 to 1,000 plus milligrams of sodium. Look at how much sugar in these fruit juices that you're getting. Because that's cavities. Cavities, that's a dentist bill. And guess what? If you decide you don't want to go to the dentist, that goes straight to your heart. Mm-hmm. So, things to think about. All this stuff ties into your health. Look at what's in it. I literally spend over an hour, and my friends pick at me, but I don't care. I want to know what I'm putting in my body. And I take the time to invest in it.
Hey, look.
Health is wealth.
Health.
You trying to get money, you can't get the money if you're dead. So let's be realistic.
No, you know what? You are correct. Look, health is wealth, and people seriously, as we go forward, let's really think about, let's just be more conscious. For all of my people, seriously, 35 over, 40, 45 and over, 50 and over, we really have to be health conscious of what we are putting into our bodies, because these things attribute to all the things you just said. And I'm just going to go a step further. If you are a homeowner, grow a little garden in the back. I'm not saying it has to be extravagant or what have you.
You can do it inside your house. You can, get the little, I don't know what they call the little thingies, and you can have tomatoes, peppers and stuff. And I know people that literally do that. They have a little setup in their apartment, in their house, and they grow fresh fruits and vegetables.
There it is. Okay. I have it right downstairs in my basement. Hey, look, I'm growing. What are you growing down there? I'm growing vegetables, brother. I ain't growing what you think I'm growing. It's all legal around here, brother. It's all legal. Okay. No. But if people want to get in contact with you, how can they do so? Social media, website, email, what have you?
So, LaJuneSingleton.com, Facebook and LinkedIn is LaJune Singleton, and Instagram is I am LaJune Singleton. And I'm also on YouTube, so LaJune Singleton is my channel.
All right. Hey, she on there showing us how to live right, y'all, okay? And getting our exercise on, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not doing the exercise quite yet. That's coming. But like I said, I was just in an accident last year and then the year before, so my body is still recovering. It's getting there. But it's coming soon, the videos.
All right. Well, I know I've seen pictures with you doing the planks. So, hey, look here. Plank people, okay? I mean, man, we got to get that core tight, okay? Summer's coming, all right? Summer's coming. We need that tight core, all right?
Yes.
But this brings me to the very last question, but this is the question that my show is known for, so I will present it to you. Miss LaJune Singleton, what is the one word that best describes you and why?
I would say empathetic. Like I said, I work with all genres of clients, even with my clients now. If I'm personal training clients and I listen to them, because I work with trainers personally myself that didn't listen, and that's important. So if a client says my back hurts, my shoulder hurts, this hurts, my foot hurts, I always find something that works for them, and they're able to work out the 3 days a week because I've been there. I've experienced the shoulder pain. I've experienced the knee pain. I've experienced having a bulging disc that was on a nerve on the left side. So I empathize with that, but I'm also not going to baby you. We still gonna get this workout in. So I would say empathy, and definitely if I had to pick another one, it's understanding, because you have to understand what somebody is going through, because I think we're so quick to be judgmental and we're so quick to, look at their faults and not understand what that person is going through.
Okay, all right, look. Distinguished people, boondocks distinguished. Okay, all right, over here. Telling y'all, man, look, she over here dropping these jewels. Seriously, trying to get us a better life, trying to get us to live longer, be more healthy, and be more conscious. Okay, don't let the past define you. Yes, some things may have been traumatic, but on the flip side of that, you can still live another day, be successful, be triumphant. It's gonna take some time, Rome wasn't built in a day, as the old folks say, but it's a process. And once you take yourself through the process, healing. Once you heal, oh man, meet the new me now, okay?
Right.
The old me, yeah, that's whatever, but meet the new me, all right? This is the new me, but look, once again, I just want to thank you coming onto the platform, blessing us, man, dropping that wisdom, informational content, y'all. I told y'all, this is what you gonna get on this platform here. We ain't no Dr. Oz or Dr. Phil, but you gonna get that info, okay? All right? But no, seriously, I just really thank you. And man, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I have been your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. Follow me, all social media platforms, at Word with Ty Brownlow. Or you can go to my website, tybrownlow.com. Y'all gonna get this good gospel here, plus other great interviews as well. Miss LaJune Singleton, thank you. We out, y'all. Peace.